Hello, Chalkin History. It's Shelly, and it is Wednesday, hump day, middle of the weekday. And we are here to play with a couple different football transfers. We're going to play with the faith, family, and football, and then also weekend forecast. All right, since we're getting really close to football starting up again this weekend. I'm not sure if there's any Thursday games. There might be. So we're going to be ready for it. We're going to be all ready and decked out. Say hello. And we're going to get that off. There we go. So first, let me make sure we are live. Make sure we are going. All right. It appears we are. Say hello as you guys hop on. We are going to do a t-shirt, and then I thought we would do a tray. We do have also a digital SVG, or I guess you could call it a digital file. There's different formats when you purchase a digital file off my website. You could do it on your laser machine. You can do it on your Brother. You can do it on your Cricut. You could do it on your Silhouette Cameo. Whatever type of cutting machine you have, and depending on how thick of the material or surface that you're wanting to cut, you should be able to cut our digital files. So we are going to play with the football. I thought that might be fun. And I'm thinking, because I'm going to do this raised surface on the tray, that I actually may give this a day to kind of really just kind of settle in and cure with the wood. And then we might put a layer of resin on top so that we can kind of just seal that football in there, and it'll be a nice flat surface. So come on in. We'll do the shirt last, since that's a more of a permanent ink. All right, so we got ourselves a tray. You guys, everybody loved their tray that we made when I was in Hilton Head Island. I did a class and everybody loved it. So it was fun. It was fun to introduce it to new people who haven't ever done it before. That's just really, just sharing the love of crafting and just showing people what they can do with these transfers. It just blows their minds every time, and I love it. Okay, weekend forecast. Clearly, we will make our football brown. Now, I can't remember. You can cut it to the exact same size of the football. Let's see if I did that. This might be a tad bigger. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to paint it. Oh, we're going to paint it white, so that the seams will show through white, and then we will paste it in a brown. And then weekend forecast, I might do in marmalade, so that we got the orange and brown thing working, right? Cleveland Browns, I know. It's where I grew up. We just got to come up with a color on the bottom side. So what color should we do? We're going to have to paint the tray a certain color. So I'm thinking maybe white. Maybe we just paint white. I think that should be good, because then the orange, the marmalade will look good on it. And then when we put the brown football on there, I think that's what we're going to do. So first things first, we're going to paint our tray. And instead of using paste, I'm just going to use some paint, because I don't want to waste all my white paste, because this is such a big tray. So let's hope we can get it open. I can never get these things dry on me, and then I can never get them open. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm going to do it over the garbage, because it's always a mess. Ooh, always a mess. Okay, let's Let's get a foam brush for ourselves here. All right. First, also, I am going to kind of just see if there's any edges that I may want to smooth out. Sometimes these pre-made trays are really not the best quality. This was from Michael's. I had a couple left over from the class from a couple weekends ago. I got home from Hilton Head, and then I hopped in a car and drove a few hours up to my mother-in-law's house. Hi, Kathy. Thank you. I appreciate you. Drove up to my mother-in-law's house. She had a terrible, terrible fall. And it's been a month already, you guys. And she has come so far, but still has so far to go. It's crazy. I'm doing okay. I'm tired. That's what I am. I am tired. Very, very tired. I am going to go ahead and for some reason, I feel like I need to spritz a little water. I hope you're doing okay, Kathy. Sprinkle some water here. And I'm just thinking it might help with the paint, because this is pretty thick paint. So we're going to go ahead and just ooze some out here. Yeah, this is pretty thick. Pretty thick. I'm just going to spray this. Oh, thank you. I'll tell you what. Oh, it was pretty bad in the beginning. Thought she was going to have to, so this is what she did. She broke her neck. She broke her back in one spot. And she broke her wrist in a couple spots. And I guess where she broke her neck, it was the staff at the hospital emergency room kind of freaked out and said it was awful close to possibly her, if she moved, that she could really end up hurting herself even worse, meaning she would maybe be paralyzed. So they, and of course this happened, well, it happened during the day, but by the time they get you, checked in at the hospital, blah, 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 it was getting to be pretty late in the day. I got little pieces here. So they got her, checked in, and then the surgery team for ortho came in and evaluated her and said, yep, we got to do surgery today. So they transferred her to another hospital, braced her all up, got her to another hospital. That hospital examined her and said, no, it's not as bad as you thought. So then they said, we're going to wait. They put a neck brace on her. They casted her arm, her wrist, and said, we're going to wait and see what happens this next couple days or so. So that's what happened, and they ended up saying that she did not have to have surgery. So thank goodness, and she wasn't to the point where she was going to be paralyzed. So thank God again. But it was scary there the first couple days, and they didn't have beds, so she was literally sitting in the hallway for a couple days. Oh, it was awful. It was just a really bad experience. So fast forward, and she went to a rehab for, gosh, maybe a week and a half, and really did well there. So they said she can go home. So she went home, oh gosh, maybe a week ago now. I don't remember. All the days are a blur. I just know I've been going up and back and forth as we can, and whew, it's been crazy. But anyways, so yes, the prayers definitely are helping. So I appreciate that. We're all taking turns. She has 3 kids, 3 sons, so they're all taking turns. Other family members are taking turns, so she can't be alone on her own just yet because she's still in a cast. So you want to make sure she doesn't fall. Still, she's still kind of weak, so just there to guide and help into bed, and can't really do anything to cook right now, and it's just crazy. It's crazy what happens when you have one arm that's not good, or a leg that's not good, or something. It's like you don't realize how you depend on all your body parts and them working. So that's just crazy. But she's doing better. I think maybe the cast comes off. Let's see, what's today? Today's only 3rd. She's probably got about 2 more weeks or so for the cast. So she's got to wait on that. So I'm sure she'll be happy to get that off. And then start PT on that. Okay, we're just cruising right along here. I should just, let's see. Pour a little paint here, and I'm going to water it down a little bit because this paint is just thick. I'm not using our paste, like I said, because this is a big surface and I don't want to go through a whole jar of paste just to color it. So that's why there's times I use, a chalk paint or acrylic paint. And then there's times I just use our chalk paste. There's always a reason for it. And these trays are always hard to get in those darn corners. So we'll just probably use a little paintbrush to get in those corners. There we go, that worked. That one worked. Maybe when my brush is nice and juicy, that's when it kind of went there. Let's see, did we get all the pieces here? That corner's good, this one is not. Let's get it in there, come on. There we go. All right, and then I'm also still helping my mom with things, we're so close to getting things all squared away and her comfortable. My son's been helping in her yard, so she's been doing some landscaping, so we've been doing that kind of stuff. All right. Alrighty. I'm going to do the inside again so it's nice and bright white. Tell me how your days have been going, everyone. What have you guys been up to? Football started this past weekend. College. And NFL. Hopefully your team was the winning team. Well, NFL I think starts this weekend, so college started this weekend. Okay. All right, we're just kind of give the inside a second coat here. I can always paint the outside anytime. I think I got let's go with the grain of the wood here. We'll get it nice and dry. We also have to paint the football. All right, we're gonna let that sit for a moment. Oh, I think I did see that posted. Congratulations, that's exciting. That's very exciting. All right, so I think we're gonna make our football white, and then we're gonna paste it brown so that when we make it brown, you're gonna see the white laces. So that's why we need to do it white. Get that nice and white. Like I said before, I'm going to let this tray probably sit overnight and like let the chalk really good, nice and dry, and kind of become one with the wood. And then we will, I think I'm going to pour a layer of resin. I think I'm going to pour this in there too, to give it a nice protective coat. I probably won't use it for like food, so I don't think I need to make it food safe, but I will use our resin just to give it a protective coating, just in case, someone puts a wet glass or something down. Okay, this is not going on. So we'll probably do that tomorrow, or maybe I'll just tape myself doing it. I don't know. We'll see. Can't tell if that's a shadow, if I need to add paint here. Or maybe it's just drying that way. Maybe it's just drying that way. Okay. All right, let's get I'm gonna get my heavy duty drying tool here. I don't want to make it too hot, but I do want it nice and warm. I'm trying to get this nice and dry. Let's get the football nice and dry too. So you'll have to tell me, Kathy, and you don't have to post it here, but if you want to message me, do they collect a fee for you to be there? Do they take part of what you make? So many places are so different. They all do different things. If you need this football cut out, go ahead and comment football. Oh, and Kathy, I am so sorry with everything going on. You did comment for, I believe, the chalk spot frames, didn't you? Okay. Sometimes I apologize. I think after that video, I went out of town, so I did not have time to think. I apologize. Make sure this gets nice and dry. I'll probably just wax like this part, the top part, so that we can chalk the orange words on there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just probably glue down the football. So I don't need to do the whole tray. I won't need to wax it. Okay. Sorry, I have something in my eye. Besides, my eyeball. Okay. Let's grab our wax. And I'm going to grab my, that's got orange on it, I think. Boy, I sure would hate to spread orange. Let's see. Maybe it's just washed. Let's see. I just love this little spongy guy because my fingers, I have arthritis in my hands and fingers. So this is so much easier for me to hold on to. Okay, I'm gonna get more wax. Really make sure that's spread. Take a look at my transfer here too. Come down a little bit more, just in case. All right, there's a fuzzy there, but we'll get it. We'll get it. Okay, let's get a paper towel here. And now we're going to buff it. You still see the fuzzies. I'm just kind of pick it away there. All right. You can see it's a little bit shiny up there. That's what we want. Just trying to get these little fuzzies out of there. Okay, garbage. Let's get our weekend forecast. There is a link inside that video description that will take you to all of the items I'm using today. And I believe if you click on it, it's called Football Ideas. When you click on it, it'll bring up all the items that either I'm using or I suggest that are Chalk Couture items. And then you can add all at once or you can add individually, like let's say you have the same color paste I have already. Then don't bother buying it again if you don't need it, right? All right, let's get this guy down. We're gonna center it, hopefully. And we're gonna make sure it's not tilting. Weekend forecast. Okay. I think I need to move it up a little bit. So we're gonna move it up a little bit. Right there. We are good side to side. All right, guys, good. So I really only need to do weekend forecast, okay? Because we're going to do the football on that piece of wood. However, if you want to, like, let's say I brought a little bit of orange down there, that will kind of give me an idea of where the football starts, and we can put it down where we need to. Okay, marmalade. Let's see what other oranges I have here. I don't think papaya. No, see, the browns, Cleveland Browns, they're not quite orange like the Bengals. They're a deeper, kind of warmer orange, so I think marmalade will be perfect. That is one of our en vogue colors for the season. September 9th, you guys, mark it on your calendar. New stuff coming. Again, I can't wait. Holiday time, the Burr months, let's be honest, those are the best months to craft in and craft for. I love this time of year. September. All right, we're just kind of spreading that. Gonna get a little bit more for the word forecast. Okay, once it's covered, we're going to get all that off the squeegee here, and then we're going to squeegee off whatever excess there is. And I don't think I'm going to do the football at all because I don't want to do it in orange since we're going to be using, I'm probably going to use bark. I thought about espresso, but I think that's going to be too dark for a football. So I think I'm going to use bark. Okay. Let's put this in here. All right, so let's take this off. Yes, 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 yes. All right, let's get that dry. Looks good so far. I may not have put too much paste or wax on there. It did tend to want to bleed, so maybe I didn't have it down good enough. That could be it as well. We could fix that up with a marker, or we'll see if we can chip some of that off, but I think it looks good. And I like the orange. Good choice, good choice. And I like to dry my paste right away instead of letting it sit and dry with the air. I like to blow it dry. Just in case it does want to run, it kind of stops it in its tracks, right? It stops it from running. We'll have to see if we can touch that up. I think I could probably use one of my black markers or white markers. Ooh, not black. Don't want to do that. Although that would be kind of cool to outline them all. All right, let's put this aside for a moment and bring over our fun little football. I grab more wax. All right, really get this guy waxed up. And we're gonna wax the entire football. Okay, since that transfer is pretty much gonna cover the entire football. Second, let's get paper towel. And we're going to buff that off. I'm not going to go too crazy. I don't want to take it off. I can see where it's, maybe I can see where it's heavy. I can see where I missed it. Okay. Open this off. All right, let's go ahead and put this guy on. So we'll have a nice little outline. Excuse me. See if I flipped it here. There we go. That's better. There's definitely a right way and a wrong way. Like I said, this is a digital file that you can find on my website. Or if you don't have like a laser and want to get a wood cut out, then go ahead, just comment football. And I will contact you. All right, let's do bark, I think. I'm gonna do bark. Bark looks better as a football color. See if these are wet. It doesn't appear they are. Okay. Just gonna wipe this off. And then after this, we will attach it. And then, like I said, tomorrow or the next day soon, I will get that layer of resin in there. All right. I'm going to water this down. It looks a little thick to me. I think this might be one of my older barks. Stir that around a little bit. All right, and then we're going to just chalk the football. Get all of that white. Wherever you see white, that's what needs to be covered. So make sure those edges, you go all the way to the edge. Sometimes you think you got it covered, but turns out you don't. Hate when it happens. All right, I think I got it all. Let's get that off our squeegee here. And just go ahead and get all the remainder excess off. All right, there. Oh, you got to use the resin. There's so many things you can do with it. It's so fun. Dun, dun, dun. Woohoo! All right. In fact, with our molds, you can use other mediums as well. There's which I want to try. There's like a casting resin that makes it kind of like a white resin. There's a black resin. There's clear, and then there's, not that we just carry the clear, but there's other mediums out there. There's also the food safe resin. And then there's like a cement you can also use, which I'm really looking forward to trying too. All right, let's get this guy dried up. He turned out perfectly. So definitely paint your football white, and then chalk it some kind of a brown, either espresso or bark. Sometimes the footballs have kind of like a reddish tone to them, so you could probably add a little bit of cherry to it just to kind of give it that different tone. Gives us about 1/8 of an inch outline when you get the digital. Okay, so then we're just gonna plop that guy down. Oh my gosh, he looks so good. All right, so I don't think I'm gonna use, no, I thought I brought down, where'd I put it? It might be in a box. I brought down a different kind of glue, but I'm gonna look real quick here and see where exactly I want him. Now that I've painted him, or that I've chalked him, I can go ahead and just kind of put that there. I can kind of do a little, let's open that brown again. I can give myself a little bit of a border here. So I can kind of say it goes right here to about there, to about there, and there. We're going to cover it up anyway, so it doesn't matter. This will give me an idea of where it's going to lay. Okay, so that's kind of where my football's going to lay. Thank you, Kathy. Let me go grab that glue here. Where did I put it? If you guys need links to any of these items that are not chocolatory, let me know. I can send them to you. This is called Star Bond Thick. This is kind of like super glue for wood. And let me tell you, it's crazy how it sticks. I'm just gonna get this stuff dried real quick here. Those are the parameters of where the football will lay. Okay. And I'm going to hold it kind of, let's see, I don't want to use that. Let's see, maybe we can put a couple of these in here. Just kind of giving me an angle so I can look at it a little better here. I'm just going to kind of go close to the edge, but not really. Okay. And then if you want, you can also put some wood glue in there too. There we go. That might help as well. All right. Okay, great. Right there. And if it's not tilted correctly, I mean, it's okay. No one's gonna know it's not tilted correctly. I am okay with that. but it sets up pretty quickly. So that is our tray. How fun is that? Again, you could paint your tray any color you'd like, whatever color you'd like. I just kind of went with the white. Again, I'll paint like inside here. I just wanted to get the main part of it done, but how fun is that? Woohoo! Like I said, I'm gonna let this cure overnight, really let the, you know, the paste get cured, and then we're gonna come in with some resin and just give it a nice little protective layer, okay? All right, that's project number 1. Project number 2 coming up. Let's get some of our dirties out of here. All right, and I will be washing everything too. Everything's water soluble, which is awesome. My wipes are getting dry. I'm gonna have to put some water in there. You know, I forget to close it and then they dry out. I hate that. Okay. All right, let's clean our fingers because we don't want anything on our shirt. You'll have to be very careful when we're using our ink to make sure that we don't put it somewhere where we don't want it, because our ink product is more of a permanent product, whereas our paste is kind of like a semi-permanent, meaning it'll stay there for you until you take it off. And that also depends on the surface. Chalkboard surfaces, glass, tin, that kind of thing comes right off. Not so much on wood because of the, you know, the porous nature of the wood. So within reason, it does come off certain items. All right. Okay, awesome. Let's get our shirt. So I got this fun shirt to go. And we're gonna do the faith, family, and football on there. And what I did is I have this t-shirt form, and on it I have a Chalkator ink mat, okay, that I glued down. And I'm going to use this, my neckline. I should actually hold the shirt up. Let's do this. I'm going to make sure that that is actually the center of the shirt, because gosh, I hate it when I don't get it centered. That is one pet peeve of mine, when something's not centered. Like, it never fails. My husband will buy like a shirt online or a concert t-shirt or something, and he gets it home and he puts it on and it's like sideways or it's off center. Drives him bananas. Absolutely bananas. I just want to make sure this is the middle of the shirt, because sometimes too, like, the tag's not in the middle, you know? It's like, why can't they just put it in the middle? Shouldn't be that hard. Shouldn't be that hard. See, like, I think that thing is off center. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. You guys have any pet peeves like that? Like your shirts, you know, the designs should be centered. Does that drive you crazy if they're not? Tell me in the comments. All right, we're going to try to get this centered here. Okay. All right. All right, so what I did was I think I super glued the ink mat to the t-shirt form. it works out pretty well. It does do a pretty good job. All right, let's get this guy out. Now, when you're working with a surface like a t-shirt, tea towel, clothes, that kind of thing, you do not want to fuzz your transfer, okay? Faith. Family. Football. Football season is here. Okay. I love this transfer, how it's like a whole football field. It's kind of cool they did that. Kind of cool. Okay. I'm gonna stand up because I can't center things if I can't see. Oh, let's do this. Let's fold our transfer in half and then give it a pinch at the fold. That will give us the midpoint. And I'm going to go off this cross of the neckline here. This is pretty, I'm going to kind of go over it here. Because I don't like it that low. I don't want my design too low. This is where it gets iffy for me because I don't know if it's straight, because you wonder if the shirt's straight, and I think we're good. I think we're good. So far, so good. All right, we're gonna rub this guy down really well, especially over these seams. It might get a little iffy here. It's okay if it does. It'll look vintagey. Okay. We really want this to adhere well to the fabric here, okay? All right. Whew. Okay. Now we're going to open our ink. Chalkin ink. Like I said, it is a permanent. I did the Lucy transfer and had a hard time centering. It was my first shirt. It's just such a difficult task, isn't it? Don't know why. All right, let's grab some ink. Again, it's permanent. Make sure you're staying on the transfer, okay? Make sure you get from edge to edge. Right now I'm just applying it. Pay more attention to, getting the excess off. I just want to make sure I'm not going off the edge and that I am getting all of the design. Okay. Okay. We're doing good. So far, so good. Boy, I am going to be all ready for football this weekend. Oh, who am I kidding? I don't really watch it, but you know what? I'll sit there. I'll support whoever he's watching and supporting. My husband, that is. Okay, I'm going to grab a little bit more. I'm going to go down this edge. They do get really close to this edge with this design. So like I said, be careful. You can always add, if you wanted to put some transfer tape over there, you could do that. Go slow and get that excess off. Back in there. this edge. Get whatever excess is kind of hanging around on these edges. All right, are we ready to see this? I know I am. Again, it might be a little funky around this part where it has that crisscross on there. That's okay, I'm okay. I am okay with that. Just didn't want it any lower. I do have one of those neck alignment things. Probably should try to find that. Okay. Check your fingers. Okay. As you're pulling, you can see if you've missed any spots, and you can always put it back down. Oh my gosh, that turned out perfect, you guys. And the design itself is very, what's the word? It's all, it looks like a chalk marker, so, or like a stick of chalk. So honestly, if you don't get it perfect, no one's gonna know anyway, because it looks perfect anyway. I might go over that little emblem thing, I don't know what that is, but go over that again. Really, you just want to push that ink through. Again, make sure you're looking at your hands so that you're not putting ink somewhere you don't want it. Oh my gosh, I love it. Eek. You guys, how awesome is that? Let's get another wipe. I think it turned out so good. What do you guys think? I just hope it's in the center. Let's just hope it's in the center, guys. That's all we can hope for. I'm gonna cover that up so that I don't get ink on anything. We're gonna close this off to the side. That's dirty. I'm gonna wash fingers because I got it on my fingers. I love it, you guys. So what I'll do now too is I will kind of dry it a little bit. I'll take it off the shirt form. We're gonna give it a little bit of a dry. And we'll have to start my thing here. Let's get that started. My Cricut press. I'm going to put it to about a minute, and then we'll do a minute on each side. Okay. Let's now remember, I do have that mat underneath there, so I don't want to get it too hot because it starts to warp. Thank you, Kathy. I just want to get it a little bit dry. Start the process anyway. I love it. I love it. I think it turned out so good. We'll get it off the t-shirt form and then we'll heat set it and then it'll be all set to go. It washes well. It'll stay for a very, very long time. It doesn't fade. It doesn't feel rough or scratchy. It actually becomes one with the fabric, which is kind of nice. Still wet. You could use a high-powered heat tool. You just got to really get it off that ink mat, and you can't do it on our mats because they warp. They just don't like the hot. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's get it off this form. I'm going to take this, move it. Still checking fingers because I feel like I'm dirty. Okay. Pull that out. Try not to let the design kind of fall on itself. Okay, let's put I'm going to put my pressing cushion under there for a few minutes here while we dry it. There we go, because we're going to make this get nice and hot. Now some people have said they have dried it with just a hot air gun. I like to just make sure it's not going anywhere, so I like to use my press. You can use an iron if you don't have a press. You can use if you have an actual t-shirt press. We are at our temperature on the press, so I'm going to take this out. This is a pressing pillow to protect your surface. So we'll put that there. That there. It's for the most part dry and it feels so soft. You can use parchment paper if it's nice and dry. Just seeing if I have a piece out already. You can actually use a paper towel, you guys. I've used that with no problems. As long as it's nice and dry. If it's still kind of wet, then you want to use either like a Teflon sheet or a pressing cloth or a, what are they called? What did I just call it? Let's see. Parchment paper, yes. Parchment paper. Okay. All right, let's bring out our press, put it on, and start the countdown. And I kind of just keep it moving. Contemplating doing the resin, however, I just want to make sure the chalk paste is nice and dry. Might try to smooth out, clean up the edge on that one, the weekend forecast. The D kind of ran a little bit, so I just want to see if I can touch that up a little bit. And then I know we're going out for dinner with my daughter and her husband. So I'm not sure I'll be able to come back on tonight. So let's do that tomorrow. Let's do the resin tomorrow. I'll feel so much better about it. Okay. That's the one side. Put it back on its cart there. When you are heat pressing, or heat setting, you want to do both sides, okay? So we did the top side, right? We're going to turn it over, and it's pretty much dry, okay? It's not going to go through the shirt or anything. We're just going to hit the back side. So you're kind of making a heat sandwich out of it. And you're heat setting that ink on the underside and the top side. So I'm just going to kind of go back and forth for a minute. I think in the beginning they always recommended 4 minutes on each side, but we have found that that is not necessary anymore, which is kind of nice. Get the job done nice and quickly. And I can't wait to wear it this weekend. I think the Browns play this weekend, so we're just gonna have to put it on. Tell me in the comments, who's your favorite football team? And I don't care if you want to put college or NFL or both. Go ahead and put them in the comments. And go team this weekend. Go team. Okay, turn it off. Let me put it back in its stand. All right. Save the paper towel. Whew. It's steamy. I love it. I cannot wait to put it on. Woo! All right, go team. And then here is our tray. Weekend forecast. Football is in the weather, so hopefully you guys will have great wins this weekend as well. Green Bay and Michigan. Oh, boo, Michigan State. No, you know what? If you were to say University of Michigan, I don't care. It's Michigan State. We're all allowed to root for the teams we love, right? All right, go team. Hope you guys